and they all involve your eyes. And more specifically, they are different light trigger tests. I have a list of 6 different eye tests and 5 different levels. We're going to start at the highest brightness with our lights and go step by step by step down. To start, I have a very powerful flashlight here, and it might be quite difficult to look at it, but I just want you to do your best. It's going to be quite bright, but then we scale down after each set. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to just have you look at my nose for a moment, and I'm going to do something really simple here. Very bright. I am just going to look at the pupillary response of your eyes. And what I'm looking for is for the pupils to have reactivity to the light, and we also want them to be equal in size and a round shape. So we are going to just do this a little bit more before moving to our next test. Because the light is so bright, I don't expect you to look at it too long or anything of that sort, but we want it to be intense to start so that everything else feels more and more relaxing and more comfortable. For our second test here, I'm going to have you continue to look straight ahead, and I'm going to put my hand between your eyes here, and I'm going to look at the direct response of the eyes and the consensual response there. Direct, wonderful, and consensual, wonderful. And then we will do our swinging light test. These are almost just little taste testers here. So I'm going to bring the light up and swing it back over here. Let it down, back up, back and forth, just like so. Let the eyes adjust. Come back with more. Let the eyes adjust. Come back with more. might be hard to tell, but you are doing wonderfully right now. I want to give you the hardest part first, and everything else is much easier. Good. Now I'm going to have you do something a little more difficult, and this requires a little more activity from you. I'm going to turn this down just a little. Make it easier for you to follow the light. So, I'm going to have you focus your eyes on the light here. I just want you to follow this using only your eyes without moving your head. So, I'm going to try to keep it from directly going into the eyes so that it's easier to work with. And we are just going to do very gentle eye tracking. Good. We're going to go up and down. Good. And up and down. Okay, and now about diagonally up, diagonally down, diagonally down, diagonally up. Good. Diagonally up, diagonally down, diagonally down, diagonally up. Good, and keep focusing on the light for me right here. And we're going to come in and out, in and out. Good. In and out. Switch sides. And come in and out. In and out, in and out. Good. And lastly here, I'm going to turn back up the brightness. I am going to be pointing the flashlight from the lateral side of your face inwards, and this is called the anterior chamber depth test. Generally, it's used for glaucoma. We're looking for a shadow on the iris, on the nasal side, or on the medial side of it. And what I do is I just come in and shine the light right at the side here. Good. And just keep looking straight ahead for me. There. Very gentle. And then the other side, the same thing. Come in. Lateral side, point medially. There. Just looking for any shadow on the iris. going to turn this off. And we can move on to the next set of tests with the higher brightness flashlight, not the highest, higher. Move a step down, and if you could just look at my nose and bring this in. There. Is that a little easier? A little bit, yeah. Good. This one and the next one. They both have similar brightnesses. One of them is a little wider of a beam. That'd be this one. Whereas the other one is more focused. So really they could be interchangeable. But we're going to focus with this one for a while. Good. Just keep looking at my nose here. Good. Good. Excellent. Just come back around here. Now, it'll be a little easier to participate in the tests now that your whole visual field isn't flooded. Good. Just look at the pupillary response before moving into our direct consensual response test. Good. So, the direct consensual response test. What happens here is that when I shine the light at one eye, that eye should react to the light, right? And that would be our direct response. Direct. 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 And then when I look at the other eye, even though it's separated by my hand, it should work in synchronicity to the other eye that the light is shining into. And that would be our consensual response. Direct. 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 Direct response. And consensual. 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 Wonderful. Now, just keep looking at my nose. We start with the more passive tests before getting into the active tests. Good. Just keep looking at my nose here. Just keep looking. Just keep looking there. As I bring this light back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And if you could train your eyes on the light here, and switched up a little bit. Let's go diagonally up, diagonally down, diagonally down, diagonally up, diagonally up, diagonally down, diagonally down, diagonally up. Let's go down, up, down, and up, and to the side, 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 to the side. Good. And just keep following this light as we go out, in, out, in, out, in, and then out, in, out, in, out, and in. There. Let's look at the side here. Look at the anterior chamber depth. Anterior meaning front, posterior or dorsal meaning back. There. Good. The other side here. Just looking at the irises here. There. Good. Very good. Now, our next light here, you could just look at my nose. This one, a little less bright. Has more of a focused point of light. And much easier on the eyes than our first light, don't you think? A little bit, yes. Wonderful. Just keep looking right here. Keep focusing on my nose. We have in total 4 light levels, and then we have a special bonus that I won't tell you about just yet, but instead just focusing on this light, bringing it a little closer here. Your pupils are going to be a little sore after this, perhaps. Getting a real workout here. Good. And then right here, bringing the light back and forth to test the pupillary response. Now you could just focus straight ahead here, and let's look at the direct, direct response, consensual, consensual, consensual. Good. And do the direct, direct, direct response and the consensual, 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 consensual. Here we go. Now, I'm gonna bring this in real close. There. Much more gentle. Much easier to see what it is that I'm doing. This test is used to detect for an afferent defect in the eyes. While the light is shining in one eye and the pupil reacts, and then it goes back and the other eye gets shined into. That one reacts back and forth, but if that doesn't quite work out, then thus we may have a defect. There. Good. Back and forth and back and forth. There. Now, if I could have you look right here, and we're going to do something a little different. Keep you on your toes. So I'm just going to have you follow this as best as you can. We're going to bring this in and over here. Just track the light as best as you can. Just easy movements. We've already established that your eyes can move in the cardinal directions of gaze. So we test their free movement. The more fluid movement, then we already know it has the ability to. We won't have to worry about any hitches in the movement. Just focus on how well your eyes track, which so far is going really well. Just track the movement here. Nice and gentle, slow, easy. Just trying to tire your eyes out a little bit. There. Good. Over here. And watching the eye as it focuses on different distances. That's your accommodation reflex. There. Good. Now just look straight ahead once more. I think we'll go right on this side. And just look. It's getting a little harder to see if there is shadowing on the iris. But it's coming in real slow and easy, looking for that little catch. If you just want to keep looking straight ahead, just keep looking straight ahead while I look at you, look at your eyes. Good. Right in here. Good. Just a few back and forths. And then we'll move into our last light level. And this one is going to be the dimmest of all of them, just that very tiny little pinprick of light. So if I could just have you look ahead, and this is going to be so much easier on your eyes. It's going to feel so much more comfortable than our first light level, where it was near blinding. With just the slightest bit of light here. Just keep focusing right here. Just keep looking at my nose, right straight ahead. I just bring this very faint light in and out of your visual field. Just like that. We can bring this in closer here. There's this little bit of blue toned, cool toned light. Look at the lowest amount of light that your pupil needs to react just a little. Just that bit of shift. Just that little bit right there. Good. Just keep looking straight ahead. I can test the pupillary response. Good. Just like that. This might be a little tricky for me, but we're going to try to test that direct consensual response. Direct. 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 consensual, 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 and we switch. Direct, 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 and consensual, consensual, in real close, real close. There's a little pinprick of light, and letting your eye react, bringing it to the other eye. Bringing it to the other side, and the other. Good. Good. There. Just a little back and forth. Now, the eye movements here, it's going to be a little difficult with the very small bit of light here, but just do your best. So we are just going to do some tracing here. Almost more following the tip of the penlight as opposed to the light itself. We are going to bring this around, maybe down here, and just trace a little bit. Not so much randomized tracking, but instead these little shapes here down, making this upside down isosceles triangle here. We're about as close to isosceles as I can get. Make a couple of teardrop shapes. Good. And perhaps a rhombus, sort of rhomboid figure. Good. There. Wonderful. Doing really well with this. Maybe a circle. Maybe a circle here. As best as I can do. Good. Maybe a spiral here, a spiral there, over here, over here. There. Now for distance, let's go ahead and bring this way back here, bring this in. And out. And then lastly, for our little bonus part, I'm going to have you close your eyes. The fun thing with this is that the skin of the eyelids is rather thin and just a bit translucent. So because of that, we can do some of these tests here with your eyes closed. You'll still see that burst of light behind the eyelids, as you can still see a sense of dark and light beyond the eyelids. So I'll have you close your eyes, close the eyes down, and I'm going to grab our brightest light so that it's very easy for you to see the light beyond. And I'm just going to bring this one step down here and just keep your eyes closed. I'm going to bring our light in to the eyes and just gently shine them on your closed eyes here. Can you see this? Can you see the play of light beyond your closed eyes? This is less about the test and more about the experience. A little bit of light there. Good. And the other side. Bring this in, out, in, and out, and see the difference between the light and the dark. Light and the dark. Back and forth. Now, just going to look the direct, direct, response. The consensual, consensual, consensual. Good. And just follow the light as best as you can behind your eyes. Behind the eyes. going to let the light come in and then the dark, so it's easier to see where the light goes behind the eyelids. Where does it go? Down, up, down, up. Good. Keep following the light as best as you can. Try to sense the direction with the juxtaposition of light and dark. Nice and slow. 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 Good. Slow. 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 And I'm going to bring the light in from back here. See it get brighter as it comes closer. In. Out. In. And out. In. Out. Switching here. Put a bit of light there and bring that in until it just about floods vision behind your eyes and out. In and out. In feel free to keep the eyes closed, open them if you wish, whatever you'd like. And that will conclude our light examination. I hope that you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, it would greatly help me out if you clicked the like button and left a comment so YouTube's algorithm registers that it was a good video. If you want to see more of my work, consider subscribing to the channel. I create primarily medical, pseudoscience / alternative medicine, and personal attention ASMR roleplays. But I've done a little bit of everything from historical to sci-fi to fantasy. If you'd like to support the channel, I offer ad-free videos, early access on videos, and exclusive content